Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we're talking about the Anthony and Sabga Awards for Caribbean Excellence 2025. To do so, let me welcome Mr. Robert Clarke, the communications consultant for Anthony and Sabga Awards Caribbean Excellence 2025, and Ms. Rachel Renie-Gonzales, laureate in the sphere of entrepreneurship, joining us on set this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Congratulations, Rachel.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be awarded this prestigious award?
It's a lot of emotions,
Yeah.
of course, but overall just grateful. I think being recognized in your field, being, and not just recognized through the award, but on a deeper level. I feel like the whole process, I got to discover a little more about my work and, you know, my industry. And I'm just so grateful, so grateful.
That's lovely to hear. And we'll get back to that in a little bit because I want you to explain that a little bit more to me. But Robert, I want to jump back to the vision of this award in the first place. And I mean, congratulations on 20 years. That's ridiculous.
Thank you very much. Yes. Well, Dr. Anthony N. Sabga, the founder of the awards, was very focused on finding a way to support and uplift and encourage, you know, Caribbean talent in spheres of arts and letters, entrepreneurship, public and civic contributions, and science and technology. And I think the program has achieved that because there's a significant cash award that comes for mid-career professionals, and it's supposed to help them further good work that they've already done. They're not supposed to be at sort of retirement stage, and Rachel is far from that.
Retirement.
She has lots of work ahead of her. So this year we had a relatively young cohort of laureates incoming. One from Jamaica, one from Guyana, two from TNT. Yeah, and it was a special night.
Tell us about the process to choose the laureates.
It's a rigorous selection process. We have country nominating committees in 5 territories across the Caribbean: Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and the OECS. And they really scour, you know, their territories for the best candidates, and then they go before an eminent selection panel, and the best are chosen. And of course, the cream rose to the top, and Rachel is one of them.
I want to cause a little bacchanal this morning, so nobody from Barbados, boy?
No Bajans. Last year was 3 Bajans.
All right, so you're making up for this year?
So this year, there were no Bajans. Yeah, but there will be in future.
All right, so Rachel, tell me about the process after you were selected and you were chosen. And everybody said congratulations, because we announced it since, I believe it was last year, we announced it on the show. We spoke to ATN for a bit. But in terms of the process after the announcement of who the laureates would be, tell me what you went through.
Well, one, I was told I had to write a 5-minute speech. So, of course, you know, you start out with the first version, second, third, fourth, and then on the night, I ended up actually just winging it. I decided to throw away that whole process and just experience the moment. But that period, I think, was really important, that the awards didn't happen right away, that you almost got to prepare yourself. So, of course, at first you're like, really, me? But as it went through, you know, the opportunities to be featured in articles or interviewed, it really brought some good publicity for my business, as well as the work that we're doing. And I think that's the most important part, that people see your company or your business and there's this one idea of it, but there's so many layers that goes into being an entrepreneur.
Well, tell us more, Rachel. Tell us more. What is your business, and what would you want people to know more about it?
So I'm in the business of food. Basically, our motto is "We'll work for food." We are all about local agriculture, adding value to local food systems, and bringing the best and healthiest foods to the consumer. So we started out with D Market Movers Limited. We were Trinidad and Tobago's first online delivery service of green grocer items. I'm talking 2009, no personal computers, no credit cards really.
No COVID.
No COVID. And, you know, we started that business online because we couldn't do the traditional brick and mortar. We couldn't afford that.
Right.
With my background, I was able to build a little online store, a little jot form, and over that 16-year period, we've grown the website to over 10,000 online shoppers. We have a good bit of shoppers from all across the world who buy healthy food for their families here. And from that business, we formed, we went a little deeper into agriculture. We went into agro-processing. And through the Farm and Function Limited brand, we do a line of Caribbean frozen fruits. And, you know, on the shelf only had berries and these imported fruits, and we wanted to give Caribbean people access to their fruits all year, the same way we get berries and apples all year. And, you know, to make smoothies, healthy, you know, drinks, desserts, but to integrate more local into the food systems. And what we do is service restaurants, hotels as well, because, you know, you don't only want to have a strawberry cheesecake, right? You can have a passion fruit cheesecake now. And that's our mission.
Chili mango cheesecake. All right, I hear you. I hear you.
And then out of that, the last business is Market Movers Design, where we help food SMEs with their branding, their packaging design, their marketability, because when we got on the shelf, we realized, you know, we were competing with only imported brands, and we needed to create a local food sector where we have compliance, marketability, and we can compete fairly in the market.
So even though you're the only one doing the local aspect of the frozen fruits and that part of things, you want more competition locally?
I think fair competition. I'd rather compete with a local Caribbean brand than a billion-dollar international organization, right?
And that's fair because it helps the entire market to grow a little bit.
Exactly.
And of course, we, the consumers, would benefit from it. Tell me, what are some of the challenges that you face as an entrepreneur?
I think being an entrepreneur is exposing your entire self, and not just to one person, to all your customers, to your vendors, to your distributors, to, you know, anyone who engages or interacts with your brand. So when you do that, at first it was tough because you're getting, fix it, this is not working, or that type of feedback. And but what it does is chip away to the true path, right? Which is, how do I solve this problem? How do I service people or help others, you know, just live better lives, right? And we luckily do that through food. And I enjoy, you know, exposing that part of it. But being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. You know, I was told that Caribbean people would never buy food on the internet. This is I was 24 years old, and you know, we sold over 2 million pounds of local food on the internet. So imagine, you know, hearing these no's, and, you know, one day, you know, that's how you feel as an entrepreneur. And I think this award has just sort of said, yes, Rachel.
Keep going.
Yeah, you're on the right path. And I think there's all these breadcrumbs that you can follow as an entrepreneur, but knowing that it all comes back to yourself and what you want to, how you want to make the world a better place.
Is that a running theme with all the laureates this year, Robert, in terms of wanting to make the world a better place?
Oh, definitely make the region a better place in particular. And I think the chairman of the Anson McCall Foundation, Andrew Sabga, said it in his speech. He said, you know, that is common among, and I'm not just talking about this year's laureates, but across the 66 laureates that we have awarded, they all want to make their communities and the region a better place in some way. And Rachel's way of doing that is buy local. Let's support our farmers. Let's give our farmers markets. These are essential things. Yeah. One thing that stuck out, we make videos with all our laureates, and in Rachel's video, what stuck out for me was they approached Youth Business TNT for $30,000. They got $10,000. But she said that was so meaningful to us at that point in time because it validated you in a different way, yes, at that period, you know. So
it showed they had credibility, you know, as a business. And, you know, now I'm a director at Youth Business of Trinidad and Tobago. I help other food SMEs, other entrepreneurs, because I know what it's like when you were 24 and you have this idea and it's like, Mom, I have an online business, and, you know, you're home in your pajamas, right?
But your name put on clothes when the day comes. Rachel, what is one thing that you're proudest of? I mean, besides this award, of course, in terms of your entrepreneurship journey, something that you had to overcome that makes you feel like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah. I think I'm most proud about the evolution of, you know, an idea and how we've sort of changed and evolved through the times. I mean, when the pandemic hit, we went from whatever our revenue was for the month, we made every single day for 2 years straight.
Wow.
So imagine waking up one morning and you hear as of midnight tonight. And the next day, you know, that was it. It was our moment to perform. We were able to bring local food to, you know, thousands of customers. We had customers from all over the world being able to still send food for their families in a time that was very scary. And it was the best validation. And what it meant is that it only took about 13 years of getting ready for that moment.
For a pandemic to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about it. People always see the pandemic and everybody talks about the negative aspect of it. But this is something that positive that came out of it because you were prepared, because you were already poised to be in that position. In terms of being able to say, all right, our growth now is exponential at that point, right? Because you went from making whatever you were making in a month to making that same amount in a day when it comes to having to provide food for people.
Yeah.
Did you have to increase your suppliers? Did you have to increase where you're getting goods and services from as well in order to please the amount of customers that you had now?
The thing is, we have a network of over 300 farmers that we worked with over the years. And I don't think those relationships, we started from day one.
Right.
You know, and it was funny. It was, you know, always trying to find markets for them. This farmer's growing this, or they want to get into this type of aquaponics, or, you know, different methods. And we were able to now say, okay, there's this demand for your products.
Yeah.
You know, now is the time. And I think we've put in that work. But we didn't have to now scramble because we, you know,
Yeah,
and I
have
think
the network.
in the farmer community, in agriculture, it's a family. I mean, and there are a lot of challenges, yes, of course. But one farmer will always, you know, refer the next one, and there's a man who could grow the best watermelon, and they take pride in what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I come from a family of farmers, and I think it's just the most admirable profession. I'm not necessarily good at it. I'm good at tech. But I wanted to help solve some of those problems I saw. You know, my brother and I would go to the market and I would see something, you know, that I knew took him $3 to make a pound, and someone telling you, I'll only pay you $1. And imagine you putting out, you're investing for years, you know, months, sometimes years as a farmer, and someone dictating your price point. And that's why I co-founded Market Movers with David, to bring that value straight to the consumer, but give the farmer, you know, the worth that, you know, all that work was.
Again, I want to say congratulations to you,
Thank
Rachel.
you.
And congrats to you, Robert, and the entire team. I mean, 20 years of doing this, and we look forward to 20 more, because I think this is it's an important step for entrepreneurs, for people who are in the different spheres, to be able to say, well, yes, the work that I'm doing, because I know that oftentimes you get imposter syndrome, you get the feeling like, yeah, I don't know if I really doing the right thing here. But to be acknowledged and awarded in this way, and of course to get the additional funding to go with it, is definitely encouraging. And I think that it would encourage generations to come. So congratulations, and thank you for doing it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
us.
Rachel, before we go, would you like to give any words of advice to young entrepreneurs out there?
I will say this: love your business, but, you know, don't fall in love with it. When you love something, you can see the flaws, you can see the gaps, and you can fix it. When you're in love, you know, you don't always see those things. So find the love within what you're doing and keep fixing, keep improving. I have much more to go, and I look forward to impacting many more people across the Caribbean.
Let me say thank you both for joining us this morning. Congratulations again, and we look forward to more.
Thanks, Rokas.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Renie-Gonzales, the laureate for the sphere of entrepreneurship, and Robert Clarke, communication consultant at the Anthony N. Sabga Awards for Caribbean Excellence, joining us on the Now Morning Show. We take a quick break and we come back with more. Stay tuned.